ሰላም ተማሪዎች እንዴት ናችሁ? እሸቱ ነኝ የ11ኛ ክፍል የሂሳብ መምህር ከሉሲ ብሪጅ አካዳሚ። ባለፈው ክፍለ ጊዜ ስለ ፍሎር ፋንክሽን ወይም ደግሞ ስለ signum function አይተናል. We have seen the graph of signum function. We have seen the domain and the range of signum function, okay? And today we are going to see the graph of the greatest integer function or simply floor function እናያለን ማለት ነው። ከዛ በፊት ግን ልክ እንደውል ጊዜው የዌብሳይታችን lucybridgeacademy.com የገባችሁ የተለያዩ ጥያቄዎችን ታገኛላችሁ፣ አጫጭር ኖቶችን ታገኛላችሁ። እንዲሁም ደግሞ ከ5 ቋንቋዎች በላይ መረዳት የሚችል personalized AI assistance ፕላትፎርም የራሳችሁ የሆነ ታገኛላችሁ። እሱን ሰብስክራይብ ያደርጋችሁ ጆይን ማድረጋችሁን አትርሱ። እንዲሁም ደግሞ ለሌሎች ተማሪዎች በስፋት እንድንዳረስ የቴሌግራም ቻናላችንን ጆይን አድርጉ፣ የዩቲዩብ ቻናላችንን ሰብስክራይብ አድርጉ። Thank you. What do you mean by the floor, the greatest integer function or the floor function? Okay, floor function. If x is a real number, we define the symbol, the floor of x, okay, the floor of x as follows, or the greatest integer less than or equal to x ማለት ነው። The floor of x or the greatest integer of x which is equal to m means m is the greatest integer such that m is less than or equal to x. Simply the floor of x means the greatest integer less than or equal to x. Another example ሳሳያችሁ በጣም ሲምፕል ነው የሚሆነው። floor of x means is the greatest integer, is the greatest integer, the greatest integer less than or equal to x ማለት ነው። ኦኬ አሁን ለምሳሌ the 0.5 ነው ሰይድ። ኦኬ the floor of 0.5 the floor of 0.5 ማለት the greatest integer less than or equal to 0.5 ማለት ነው። ከ0.5 የሚያንሱ ኢንቲጀሮች እነማን ናቸው? 0 ኔጋቲቭ 1 ኔጋቲቭ 2 ኔጋቲቭ 3 እያለ ይቀጥላል። እነኚህ ከ0.5 የሚያንሱ ኢንቲጀሮች ናቸው። 0 እና ከ0 በታች የሚገኙ ኢንቲጀሮች ከ0.5 የሚያንሱ ኢንቲጀሮች ናቸው። ከነዚህ ውስጥ ትልቁ ማን ነው? 0 ነው ማለት ነው። So the greatest integer less than or equal to 0.5 means 0, right? ፍራክሽኖች ወይም ደሲማሎች ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ። ከደሲማሉ በስተግራ በኩል የሚገኘውን የመጀመሪያ ኢንቲጀር መውሰድ ማለት ነው። ወይም ደግሞ the greatest integer less than or equal to the given fraction or decimal. What about the floor of 5 itself, the number 5? If x is an integer, the floor or the greatest integer less than or equal to that number is itself integer ከሆነ ራሱ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። Look, the floor of 0.6 or the greatest integer less than or equal to 0.6 is 0. ከ0.6 የሚያንስ ወይም እኩል የሆነ ትልቁ ኢንቲጀር ማን ነው? 0 ነው። ሌሎቹ ኢንቲጀሮች ከ0 በታች ናቸው ማለት ነው። እነ ኔጋቲቭ 1 እነ ኔጋቲቭ 2 something like that ከ0.6 የሚያንሱ ኢንቲጀሮች። ከ2.3 የሚያንሱ ኢንቲጀሮች እነማን ናቸው? 2 1 0 ኔጋቲቭ 1 and so on። ስለዚህ ከነዚህ ውስጥ ትልቁ ማን ነው? 2 ነው ማለት ነው። So to the greatest integer less than or equal to 2.3 is 2. What about the greatest integer less than or equal to negative 2.3? Okay, don't say negative 2, it is negative 3. እስኪ ወደ ኋላ ልመለስና 2.3 ላሳያችሁ። 2.3 ማለት በማንና በማን መካከል ይገኛል? በ2 እና በ3 መካከል። 2 here it is 3. 2.3 is somewhere here is 2.3. So the greatest integer means the integer to the left of 2.3 ማለት ነው። አሁን ኔጋቲቭ 2.3 ደግሞ በማንና በማን መካከል ይገኛል ነው? በኔጋቲቭ 3 እና በኔጋቲቭ 2 መካከል ነው የሚገኘው። ማን? ኔጋቲቭ 2.3 ኔጋቲቭ 2.3። ሶ ከሱ በስተግራ በኩል የሚገኘው ኔጋቲቭ ከሱ በስተግራ በኩል የሚገኘው ኢንቲጀር ማለት ነው ኔጋቲቭ 3 ነው። ወይም ደግሞ ኔጋቲቭ 3 is the greatest integer less than or equal to negative 2.3 እንላለን። ኔጋቲቭ ሲሆን ጥንቃቄ ማድረግ ይኖርባቸዋል። the square root of 2, look, the square root of 2, the square root of 2 is an irrational number between 1 and 2. 1 2. So the square root of 2 is somewhere here, all right? The square root of 2. So the square root of 2 is irrational number. What is the greatest integer less than or equal to the square root of 2 is 1. To the left of the left integer, okay? To the left integer. ወይም ደግሞ ከዛ ከተሰጠን ቁጥር የሚያንስ ወይም እኩል የሆነ ትልቁ ኢንቲጀር ማለት 1 ነው ማለት ነው። 1 is the greatest integer less than or equal to square root of 2 is 1. Evaluate f of x which is equal to floor of x or the greatest integer less than or equal to x for the given value of x. የx value ተሰጥቶናል። Look, f of x is equal to floor of x. Our function is f of x is equal to floor of x. So we are asked to find f of what? F of 2.4. 2.4, which means floor of 2.4 is the floor of 2.4 is, as we know, 2. That means the greatest integer less than or equal to 2.4 is 2. This is A. What about B? Negative 2.47. F of negative 2.47, okay? Which means the floor of negative 2.47. Which is equal to, this is the greatest integer less than or equal to negative 2 is negative 3, all right? Negative 2.47 is negative 3. So the floor is this one. Similarly, ሌሎቹንም በዚህ መንገድ ትሰራላችሁ ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ 1.24ን ብንሰራ ሲ f of 1.24 which is equal to the floor of 1.24. The greatest integer less than or equal to 1.24 is 1. It continues like this. The floor or the greatest integer less than or equal to is very simple, okay? ከዛ ቁጥር ላይ በግራ በኩል የሚገኘውን ኢንቲጀር መውሰድ ነው ማለት ነው። እስኪ አንድ ሌላ ልጨምራችሁ። እኔ f of 3 ቢሆንስ ምን ይሆናል? f of 3 where 3 is an integer is the floor of integer is itself, okay? Itself, because an integer less than or equal to 3 ማለት 3 እና ከ3 የሚያንስ ትልቁ ኢንቲጀር the greatest integer less than or equal to 3 is 3 itself, okay? 3. Okay, let f of x equal to the greatest integer less than or equal to x minus 2. Sketch the graph. We are asked to sketch the graph. But first let me sketch the graph of f of x which is equal to the floor of x in መጀመሪያ ይሄን sketch ማድረግ ይኖርብናል ልጆች። እንደምታውቁት the graph of the floor of x, it looks like what? Yes, it looks like when x is 0, the floor of 0 is 0, this point, okay? I think let me take the black color. It looks like this one and hole at 1. At 2 when the value of x, for example, በአንድና በሁለት መካከል ሲሆን the corresponding value of the function is 1. So the graph when floor of 1 is 1, floor of 1.5 is 1, floor of 1.9 is 1. That means the graph looks like this one. Hole here, okay? እንደዚህ ያለ ይቀጥላል ማለት ነው። But here hole, it looks like stair, okay? This point, but this one is hole. This is 2 and this is 3 and so on. So በዚህ በኩል ደግሞ እዚህ ጋር ይመጣል ኔጋቲቭ ዋን ላይ፣ እዚህ ጋር ደግሞ ይመጣል ኔጋቲቭ 2. This is a graph of the floor of x. So ይሄንን ዩኒት x minus 2, look, f of x is equal to floor of x minus 2 means take x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 2. ስለዚህ floor of x to the right 2 units shift አድርጓል ማለት ነው። So ግራፋችን y axis, x axis 1 2 3, 1 2 3, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Here is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Okay, now ይሄንን ግራፍ ወደ ቀኝ ስንት ዩኒት? 2 ዩኒት እናመጣዋለን። ሶ እዚህ ላይ የነበረው ምን ይሆናል? እዚህ ጋር የነበረው የት ላይ ይመጣል? እዚህ ላይ ይመጣል ማለት ነው። 2 ዩኒት ሽፍት እናደርገው እዚህ ላይ ይመጣል ማለት ነው። ሶ ሆል that means floor of, for example, floor of 2, how much is floor of 2? Floor of 2 is 2 minus 2, 0. Yes, floor of 2.1, okay? 2.5 minus 2 is 0.5. The floor of 0.5 is 0. So this is 0, but floor of 3, the floor of, when the value of x is 3 minus 2, 1, the floor of 1 is 1. So here is whole, but it is a point, okay? እንደዚህ ያለ እዚህ ጋር እዚህ ላይ ይመጣል። እንደገና ይሄኛው ደግሞ እዚህ ጋር ይመጣል ማለት ነው። ያለ this is a graph of the floor of x minus 2 ይሄን እናገኛለን ማለት ነው። sketch the graph. so ይሄ the floor of x ን 2 ዩኒት ወደ ቀኝ ሽፍት እናደርገዋለን ማለት ነው። ይሄን በዚህ በኩል እንደዚህ ያለ ይቀጥላል ማለት ነው። ኦኬ now let f of x is equal to x minus floor of x, then find the domain, find domain and range. Okay, good. f of x is equal to x minus floor of x. Okay, now look, we can draw the graph of floor of x minus floor of x. For example, when x እስኪ የሆነ ቴብል አዘጋጁና በx ቦታ this is x and this is x minus floor of x. So when x is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. አሁን x minus 3 በሚሆንበት ጊዜ ምን ይሆናል? minus 3, what is floor of minus 3? floor of minus 3, minus 3, minus 3 plus 3, 0 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። እዚህ ጋር minus 2, floor of minus 2 is minus 2, minus 2 plus 2, which is 0, yes. Okay, minus 1 plus 1, 0, 0, 0, 0 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። but what happened when the x is between minus 2 and minus 1 and 0 ሲሆን ለምሳሌ when x is 0.5 ሲሆን ምን ይሆናል? ከ0 ሲበልጥ x when x is equal to 0.5 ሲሆን ምን ይሆናል? x minus floor of x አችን ምን ይሆናል? x minus floor of x አችን ምን ይሆናል? x ማለት 0.5 ነው minus floor of 0.5 ስናደርግ ስንት ይሆናል? 0.5 minus what is floor of 0.5? 0, which is 0.5 እናገኛለን። when x is 0.9 ሲሆን ደግሞ x minus floor of x አችን ምን ይሆናል? x 0.9 ነው minus floor of 0.9 እናደርጋለን። 0.9 minus what is floor of 0.9? 0. okay, that means 0.9 እናገኛለን ማለት ነው። look አሁን ምን ማለት መሰላችሁ ልጆች? ይሄ ግራፉን ላስቀምጠው። let f of x is equal to x minus f of x is equal to x minus floor of x ማለት ግራፋችን ምንድነው የሚመስለው? x, here is y, 1 minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 ያለ ይቀጥላል። minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So look, when x is 0, 0, when x is 0, 0, when x is 1.5, the function is 1.5, somewhere here, this point. When x is 0.9, again the value of the function is 0.9. it looks like this one. anyways 1 1 በሚሆንበት ጊዜ ደግሞ when both 1 1 which is 0. 1 1 0, that means it is whole here. So the graph looks like this one. Graph looks like this one. Whole አለኝ እዚህ ጋር whole, this is 1 3 2 and again here whole whole whole. Okay, so the graph looks like this one. Now but we are asked to find domain of f is equal to, the domain can be any real number. It's the set of all real number. What about range of f is equal to, look, the range is always between 0 and 1. So it is 0 less than or equal to 1. It doesn't include 1, or this means simply y such that y is between 0 and 1. 0 less than or equal to y less than what? Less than y ብለን በዚህ መንገድ እናስቀምጣለን ማለት ነው። The range is between 0 and 1 including 0, whereas the domain is the set of all real number. Okay, next. Let y is equal to 2 times the floor of x plus 3 and y is equal to 3 times floor of x minus 2 plus 5. Find the value of the floor of x plus y. Okay, look, y is equal to 2 into floor of x plus 3, which is equal to 3 into floor of what? Floor of x minus 2 plus 5. This means 2 into floor of x plus 3 is equal to 3 times floor of x minus 2 ማለት ነው። Okay, plus 5. The floor of x plus a is equal to floor of x plus a. If what? If a is an integer, an element of integer. If a is an element of integer, the floor of x plus a is equal to floor of x plus a. Now this means 2 times 2 times floor of x, 2 times floor of x plus 3 is equal to 3 times floor of x minus 6 plus 5, which means 2 into floor of x plus 3 is equal to 3 floor of x minus 1. Minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. Now collecting like terms, 3 plus 1 is equal to 3 floor of x minus 2 floor of x. Okay, which means 4 is equal to floor of x. Okay, the floor of x is 4. But we are asked to find the floor of x plus 1. Okay, the floor of x is equal to 4. This means 4 less than or equal to x less than 5 ነው ማለት ነው። x በ4 እና በ5 መካከል የሚገኝ ከሆነ ፍሎሩ ስንት ነው? 4 ነው ማለት ነው። The floor of x is 4 means x is between 4 and 5 including 4. Okay, so the floor is 4. But we are asked to find floor of what? X plus y. Alright, x plus y. እዛ ጋር ቅድሙ ላይ ምን የሚላለ ጥያቄው ላይ y is equal to 2 floor of x. y is equal to 2 into floor of x plus 3. yes, plus 3 የሚላለ እዚህ ጋር የyን ማወቅ እንችላለን። y is equal to 2 times floor of x is 4 plus 3 to 8 plus 3 is 11. So y is equal to 11. Y is equal to 11. Now floor of x plus y means I know that x is between 4 and 5 and y is 11. Floor of x plus y is 11. This means ቅድም እንደተነጋገርነው floor of x plus what? Plus 11, because 11 is an integer, okay? Floor of x is 4. Floor of x. Floor of x is 4 plus 11, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 50. So the floor of x plus y is equal to 15. Good. So we are asked to find the floor of x plus y. The floor of x plus y is equal to 15. Find the value of x. Let me say this is a and this one is b, okay? A, floor of 2 plus floor of x is equal to 7, all right? This means the greatest integer less than or equal to 2 plus floor of x is 7. ይሄ ማለት ሁል ጊዜ በደንብ መስራት ያለባችሁ እዚህ ጋር floor of x is equal to a ነው ከተባልኩኝ where a is an element of integer is equal to a ከሆነ where a is an element of integer ከሆነ ይሄ ማለት a less than or equal to x less than or equal to a plus 1 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ኦኬ x በa እና በa plus 1 መካከል ነው ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ a 5 ከሆነ x በ5 እና በ6 መካከል ነው። 5 ሲደመር 1 6 ነው። በ5 እና በ6 መካከል ነው እንላለን። ይሄ ማለት ደግሞ በ7 እና ይሄ በ7 እና በማን በ7 እና በ8 መካከል የሚገኝ ነው። 7 less than or equal to 2 plus floor of x less than 8 ማለታችን ነው። ኦኬ less than 8 እዚህ ጋር እቺን a plus 1ን አይጨምርም። ኦኬ so subtract 2 in the three of expressions, all right? 7 minus 2 less than or equal to 2 minus 2 plus floor of x less than 8 minus 2. Subtract 2. So ሶስቱም ኤክስፕሬሽኖች ላይ ሁለትን እንቀንሳለን። so 7 ሲቀነስ 2 5 5 less than or equal to 2 minus 2 0 0 plus floor of x is floor of x less than what? 8 minus 2 is 6. This means the floor of x is between 5 and 6 means x is equal to floor of x is equal to 5, okay? Floor of x is equal to 5 ነው ማለት ነው። Floor of x is equal to 5 ነው ማለት ደግሞ 5 less than or equal to x less than 6 ነው ማለት ነው። okay? x በ5 እና በ6 መካከል ከሆነ ፍሎሩ ስንት ይሆናል? 5 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። This implies that floor of x the value of x is between 5 and 6 እንላለን። What about b? Okay, b. The floor of x minus 1 is equal to 3. The floor of x minus 1 is equal to 3. Floor of x minus 1 is equal to 3. Similarly, this means 3 less than or equal to floor of x minus 1 less than or equal to less than 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now add 1 in the three of the expressions, okay? አንዳንድ በሶስቱም ኤክስፕሬሽኖች ላይ አንዳንድ ስንደምር 3 plus 1 less than or equal to floor of x minus 1 plus 1 less than 4 plus 1. 3 plus 1 4 less than or equal to floor of x minus 1 plus 1 is 0 less than 5. This means floor of x is equal to what? 4. Yes, the floor of x is equal to 4. Yeah, this means x is what? 4 less than or equal to x less than 5. So the value of x is between 4 and 5 including 4. The last one, determine whether each of the following is true or false. Signum of x is equal to ቅድም እንደምታስታውሱት signum of x ስንል signum of x is equal to ምን ብለናል? Absolute value of x over x if x is different from 0 and 0 if x is equal to 0 ብለን ዲፋይን አድርገናል። ይሄ ግን ፕላስ ኦር ማይነስ ስኩዌር ኦፍ x ነው የሚሆነው። so for x is for all real number x ስለሚል for x is equal to 0 ሲሆን ዲፋይንድ አይሆንም, which is false. okay, this is false. b signum of x is less than or equal to floor of x ነው የሚለው. okay, the signum of x is always 0, 1, and -1. But what about floor of x? Floor of x can be greater than 1. Look, for example, take B, take a counter example. Signum of for x is less than or equal to 0 ስለሚል signum of -3 ውሰዱ። signum of -3 ማለት እንትን ነው -1 ነው የሚሆነው። ኦኬ what about floor of -3? floor of -3 is equal to what? -3. so -1 is greater than -3. -1 ማለት ደግሞ signum of what? signum of 3 -3 ማለታችን ነው, which is equal to floor of -3. አሁን ማን በለጠ? ሲግነም ኦፍ -3 መጣ። ስለዚህ ይሄ ነገር የኤክስ ቫልዩ -2 -3 -4 በሚሆንበት ጊዜ ይሄ ነገር ትሩ አይመጣም ማለት ነው። so this is not always true, which is false. the absolute value of x is equal to x signum of x. ይሄን ቅድም በደንብ አይተናል ግራፉ ላይ። ወደ ኋላ ልመልሳችሁ። ልክ absolute value function ኦኬ and then greatest signum function ላይ አይተነዋል። signum function እሺ c ነው አይደለ? c the absolute value of x which is equal to x times signum of x ነው የሚለው, which is true ነው የሚለው true ነው የሚሆነው። ኦኬ ሁለቱም ግራፋቸው ምን አይነት መሰላችሁ? it is v shaped. ኦኬ is አይነት ነው the absolute value of x which is equal to x signum of x. ስለዚህ ስለ signum function ስናወራ ይሄን ግራፍ በደንብ አይተነዋል። this is always true. this is true. and signum of x is greater than floor of x for x is greater than 0. okay look, for example, for x is greater than 0 take 3. okay signum of 3. all right, በዚህ በኩል ጻፈው d. signum of x is what? signum of x signum of x greater than floor of x. greater than floor of x for all x is greater than or equal to 0 ነው የሚለው። okay take signum of 3 positive 3 because x is greater than or equal to 0 ስለሚል ሶስትን መውሰድ እንችላለን። you can take a counter example. is greater than floor of 3 ማለት ነው። so what is signum of 3 is 1, floor of 3 is 3. 1 is greater than 3, which is false. okay which is false. therefore this is false. this is false. okay we see the graph of the floor function, and we see the domain and the range of floor function. On the next video we will see compositions of functions. okay compositions of function. እንግዲህ ልክ እንደውል ጊዜው የተለያዩ አስተያየቶችና ኮሜንቶች ካሏችሁ በቴሌግራም ቻናላችን ማስቀመጣችሁን አትርሱ። እንዲሁም ላይክ ሼር ኤንድ ሰብስክራይብ ማድረጋችሁን አትርሱ። እስካሁን አብሬያችሁ የቆየሁት ሼቱ ነበርኩ። በሚቀጥለው ቪዲዮ እስከምንገናኝ ሰላም ቆዩኝ።